This is the home of Murray Zingerfuss, widow of the thru hiker Ziggy back in '89. She did some trail magic with us and set us up in here. This was my room last night. Upstairs bath. At lost the pie.
You're still alive?
He got to sleep in the
I thought you quit.
in the library. Snap and Fjord shared this room last night. And Long Haul stayed in that room. She drove us around, had us a resupply, made us a wonderful spaghetti dinner, wonderful breakfast this morning. Stairs and bare socks like scare me.
Yes. It's what? Right?
Yeah. Get the shoes on. Oh no, I'm like the only one not ready. Alright. If y'all are coming through Atkins and y'all ever see that Jaguar with the license plate Zigzag, that's some awesome trail magic right there, man. I can't even begin to explain it. Here we go, across this field again. She dropped me back off at Lindamood School, dropped Trey, Fjord, Snap, Long Haul, back off at the gas station by I-81 overpass. So I got the 2 extra miles to do into Atkins. 2.8, something like that. My feet are feeling better. The bottoms are still sore. I've taped up my heels. My heels really didn't pain me. They look horrible. They hurt if you poke them. But walking, not so much an issue. But I've taped them up and I'm keeping my boots a little looser today, so we'll see if that plays a factor in foot survivability by the time I get to not Maul shelter tonight. Not like K-N-O-T, Maul. There might be a 4th word in there. Not Maul something shelter. Anyways, time is around 10 o'clock. A little bit later start, dropping everybody else off after that wonderful breakfast. But yep, we got a lot of flat terrain through Atkins today, so
Good morning to you.
gotta get it done. Hi. So yeah, about Miss Murray. Nice little lady. Her husband thru hiked in 1989. I would have been 4 years old, 5 years old, something like that. And she commended me for, you know, not just hopping out at the gas station and taking off with the rest of the group, that I actually wanted to come back to Lindamood School and do these few miles into Atkins, because she says, you know, most hikers wouldn't. They'd just say thanks for the ride and pick up, forget these miles. And I said, well, for my hike, I've already had to miss a section because of inclement weather, and I've got to figure on how I'm getting back there and doing that once it's all said and done, so that I could say I've gone through this entire hike. Well, she gave me a story of when Ziggy did it back in '89. He started in February, and there was a lot of snow. So he got to the Smokies, and the snow was 3 and 4 feet deep in spots. And she says he was a short guy, so he was having a real difficult time digging through all the snow. So he left the Smokies at Klingsman Dome and went up to Damascus and continued his hike. And when he finished his hike at Katahdin, he went back in the fall and finished the Smokies and just enjoyed that section so much more in the fall when he wasn't having to swim through snow. So she told me that might be something I can really look forward to, those last few miles up and over Blood Mountain. It just feels real good when trail angels along the trail really know where you're coming from. You know, as I was editing my videos last night, posting one of them, I would have had day 49 up last night, early this morning, but I messed up. I set the charger onto the case and set the video, my cell phone case, set the video uploading at like 4 o'clock this morning, and said, oh, he'll be done by the time, 8 or 9 o'clock rolls around. Well, I woke up at 7 and checked on the progress of the upload, and it was at 94% with 16 minutes remaining. And I'm like, yay. And then I look at the battery, red little sliver of battery says 1%. And I said, why aren't you charging? And I flipped the cell phone over and mashed the button on the back of the cell phone case to tell the case to start charging the phone. And right as I did that, the cell phone died in my hands. So, if you're familiar with how YouTube works, when you're uploading video, you kind of got to leave it on that page. And, well, with the phone turning off, it kind of stopped the upload. So, I got day 49 put together as a movie in my phone. And if while walking through Atkins today, I get a strong enough AT&T signal, I'll try to upload it on the move. But that's really hit or miss, because you go in one area that doesn't have signal, and boom, upload canceled. All right, so okay, go over this or around it? I think we'll just go around. Okay, so in some of my other videos I was editing, I noticed I ramble along, and one comment was a Pooh Bear with his pot of tang. You know, rambling through the woods. Sorry if I do that. I just get off on tangents sometimes, and one thing will lead to another. You know, like I said before, I'm trying to keep these videos as, you know, as memories of what I was experiencing on the trail, so I can reflect on later. But I'm also trying to keep them informative and descriptive and, you know, helpful for anyone else that wants to experience the trail. So but when I am editing, believe me, I do cut out some good sections, or not really good sections, but like seriously pointless ramblings, kind of like this one here, you know. Like but I am saving all my footage on the little micro SD cards, which, by the way, I've used up a 128 gig, which is weird because the GoPro tells you don't put anything in it bigger than a 64. So I used up a 128 and a 64, and I am on my third card. The card says, you know, whenever you put it in, you got about 5.5 hours recording at 1080p. So in Parisburg, I might look ahead to see if there's a Best Buy or a Walmart, because I'm going to need to pick me up a couple more of these little SD cards. They weigh next to nothing, and like I said, I'm keeping all the videos that I record on the SD cards. Maybe when it's all said and done, I'll, you know, get home and make a disc out of, like, you know, 20 something hours of trail footage, uncut, unabridged, unedited. And you'll see all the times where I was saying Darnassus instead of Damascus. Scuba chick, you called me out on it. I apologize. I'm sorry. I've played World of Warcraft for like 11 years. It's a major city there, so I've only been on the trail for 2 months, and I was only in Damascus for a couple days. Actually 3 days, really. But yeah, sometimes I just get going and I'll say a word the wrong way. I apologize. So right here, this is where Trey fell yesterday. He said, watch out, some of that ground is slippery, you'll see where I fell. This is where Trey fell. Not laughing at him, laughing with him. because he gets moving fast and sometimes his feet just don't keep up with him. All right. But yeah, bottom of my feet feeling better. They're still sore, but I wouldn't call them in pain. So, you know, it's just something you gotta work through. And yeah, joke, you know, pain is weakness leaving the body. Yeah, okay. So, you know, getting stronger, and you know, those spots on my feet, once all said and done, will be, you know, will be tougher after this. So as far as health, I mean, you hear me sniffling. I think every hiker coming up and down the trail is going to have a runny nose eventually. But I am using hand sanitizer. I am using, you know, antibacterial and microbial soap whenever I can, before eating, you know, after doing your business. So, you know, you just gotta stay healthy, because your health is the only thing you got out here. Besides that, in your pack, and your trekking poles, and your boots, and your trail family, and trail angels. But health is important. So yeah, wonderful day. Feel real positive. I'm gonna get these miles done. I said start around 10, so 8 o'clock is still, you know, light enough to travel, light enough to, you know, make out where you're going and operate. So 10 hours of beautiful weather and 15 or 16 miles to go. That's plenty of time. If the terrain gets real rocky, I'll really slow down and, you know, make sure I don't re-aggravate these spots. But I'm feeling good. It's great. I think that's a beaver dam. And train track. Okay. I was kind of wondering why there was a extra rail just sitting here, but I don't know. Maybe they took it off the track and didn't want to bring it far. I wonder if Trey did his whole laying down here thing, taking a picture with the little quote, I'm waiting for a train that'll take us from here. Put it on Instagram. He probably did. That silly Trey. At Lost Up High. A boardwalk. All right, bird. Quit circling me. I'm not dead yet. That bird. Okay, I'm kind of looking up into the sky, so. Oh, great, now there's two of them. I don't know what they're circling. If it's not me, I hope I don't walk up on something dead or dying. They're just up there floating around. Right over there was where Miss Murray dropped Trey and Fjord, Snap, long haul off, and they went under that overpass. I'm gonna stop here for a minute, use the restroom, and keep on going. Alright, let's see what this looks like. GoPro mounted to my bicep with the strap that I just had around my head. You probably see a lot of my left hand and trekking pole, but we'll see what this looks like. Walking across a pasture right now. Partly cloudy turned into mostly cloudy, but that's great because less chance of sunburn walking across all these open areas. The AT comes in many shapes and forms. No 2 miles are identical. It's times like these when you're coming from down there, going up there, I just look at the ground, just lean over, I look at the ground, try not to count the steps. This is basically what I do, because I don't want to look up there. I just look down at the ground and make sure I catch these steps. Made it to the top, or wherever this is. Whew. I don't want the cold weather with the snow and the ice, but it seems like 5 days ago, or maybe a week, I was walking through snow, slipping on ice, and putting my trekking poles into trees. But it's 75 degrees right now, pushing 80, just north of Atkins. So that breeze feels real good. There's a little saying in Louisiana, if you don't like the weather, give it 5 minutes, it'll change. AT is almost the same way, except it's more like give it 5 days and it'll change. Hadn't seen a white blaze in a while, but I don't think I would have really gotten off the trail. But it's just reassuring to see those on a tree after not noticing them for a while. Okay, did not see that log right there. Tripped over it, which made my other foot go to these leaves. Made my other foot go way down there into those leaves, which almost put my face into these little trees. But I didn't fall. I kind of just rolled to my left and hopped on my left foot so I wouldn't go face first into that. Good save, good save. Okay, where I'm at so far is I just crossed where the AT meets up with Crawfish Trail. So that is 8.1 miles from the shelter. Well, I still have over 4 hours of daylight, less than 8 miles to go. I'm doing good. So, the trail is as follows. 2 miles of this upslope right here. It's what I call a lazy up. It just goes up and up and up. It's not steep, and it's not hard. It just keeps going. A 2 mile stretch. And then it's going to drop down steeper than this grade going up, which will be fine. And then there's a shorter in distance and elevation up, so it's going to be a little more steep, and then a drop back down, and then this sawtooth looking up will be my last ups for the day until it flattens out, and then it's like a sawtooth across the top, so it'll just be like a little up, low down, a little up, low down, until I start heading down to the shelter. Maul branch shelter. So it's doable. I'm gonna get the shelter, drop my pack, go fetch water, bust out supper, doctor up my feet, and sleep. Good times. Good times. I don't know if these numbers are accurate for this year, but it'll work for me. So, Red Maids, you've just gone a quarter of the way up the Appalachian Trail. What are you going to do next? The other 3/4, of course. And then go to Margaritaville. Yeah. Downhill time. Okay, we went up the back side of that range, and then wiki, like switchbacked all the way down, walked in that tree line right there between that pasture and this one, came out into the pasture, gonna go up and over these fences across the road, and yeah, up there. Back to the trees. So, whee! But it's just beautiful out here. Seems about worthy of noting. Once you get up over this fence for the next 1.4 miles, 1.5 miles, you're going through private property that the trail can travel through. So, you know, mind your P's and Q's, respect people's private property when hiking the Appalachian Trail. Down there is where we crossed the road to come into this pasture, and the trail took us along the fence and then up a little bit, and then instead of just coming on up the trail where we're here, no, it walked along this walked the length of this pasture and then came up the hill and then came back. It's like, come on. I mean, yeah, it's probably an easier grade, but that's the trail right there. You could just went whoop and just straight up this hill, and we'd be at this tree right here, going back into the woods. But I followed the blazes because, you know, that's what I do. I just get up here and I'm like, we came in from right there and walked all through this pasture just to come back. But it's great. I'm not even going to complain about all the cow patties. Nope. Not going to complain. Not this guy. Not today. About stinky, smelly cow patties. Nope. You're not going to hear any complaining from me about having to walk through a pasture of stinky, smelly cow patties. Not today. Nope. Whew. 3 more miles to go today, because I just crossed that bridge. It's 5:50, so there's still, you know, 2 hours of sunlight. I'm golden. I'm gonna get to camp. Plenty of time to get water and get stuff situated for tomorrow morning, and eat and do some sleeping. Oh, look at that old building. I bet it's got some history. We're going up that. But this is our last up. Like this thing, once we get up to the top of it, it's just ridge walking. And then, you know, ridge to ridge is, you know, up, down, but nothing like this. Which this isn't really that tall. And then once I start going down the back side of this thing is the shelter. So, just a little bit more to go today. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and make my prediction. If this was the last highest point for the day, I just came from down that ridge. The trail goes that way, and I don't foresee the next less than a mile taking me, you know, up and over that ridge. But y'all know my track record when I start predicting last ups for the day. I just want to head down this ridge and run right into that shelter. That would be great. And by run down this ridge, I mean, casually stroll, walk, and, not trip over any roots or step on any sharp stones. So, that's what we're going to do. Or, I could be completely off by a mile, and we just keep walking this ridge up and down until we find said shelter. I mean, it's gotta be this way. Any minute now. Any second. We're about to run out of ridgeline. But no, it's great. It's great. It's been a great day. Started out wonderful. It's going to end wonderful. Trying to get the truck and pull out the tree. Turn around. That's what the sunset's looking like. A few clouds over there, making the sky all sorts of colors. When you're really expecting a shelter and you come look through the trees and you see a downed tree, you see a horizontal line, and you're like, oh, there's a shelter, there's this roof line. Nope, that's just a tree. Okay. I wonder if we're going over there. Oh, no, wait. Okay, trail goes down this way. Switch back. Does that mean the shelter's down there somewhere? I don't know. I'll find it. Well, I see the trail going back that way. Okay, so downwind.
Yep.
You just hiked a quarter of the Appalachian Trail. What are you gonna do next?
Hike 3 more quarters.
Exactly.
Yep.
How are you feeling, Blueberry? A quarter of the trail done.
A lot better than I did 3 days ago. So.
A lot better than you did 3 days ago. I'm in the same, they're feeling better. Feeling better. Fjord, you just hiked a quarter of the Appalachian Trail. What are you gonna do next?
Let's keep hiking.
Tomorrow.
Right now.
Tomorrow.
Oh, well, I guess I'll go to bed and then I'll keep hiking tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Great.
Okay.
There's always tomorrow.
Trey, you just hiked. Okay, yeah, never mind.